Hello everyone and welcome back to another weekly preview. This weekend, racing heads to Cranbourne for the Victorian meeting and can't wait to get stuck into the plays of the day there, along with plenty of other stuff. A lot of tips from around the country this weekend, so it's going to be great. Last week was pretty good, 3 from 9. Clyde Moore got up, which was the main highlight, but also Poison Chalice and Hypothetical boosted the level, staking up to 26% profit on turnover since we've started, so that's good. Let's keep it rolling into this week. We'll start with early cash, trying to find a winner from races 1 to 3 around the country. I've gone to Morphettville this week. Race 1, number 1, Midnight Mass. Now, this horse is pretty short, but deserves to be. Last week, only got beaten a length by Poison Chalice. Held on for a long way, almost skipped away from it and looked the winner for most of the straight. But Poison Chalice just mowed it down late. That was over 1,800 metres. Back to the 1,600 metres here is a big plus in my opinion. Draws 6, so we'll roll forward out of 7. So we'll roll forward. Only thing stopping it is the big weight. It's now time for the plays of the day from Cranbourne. Last week was pretty successful at Caulfield. Hopefully this week can be successful at Cranbourne. Now there's been a big talk as to what will happen with the weather. There is forecasted to be thunderstorms for this upcoming Saturday. 2 years ago on Cranbourne Cup Day, it bucketed with rain and it was a heavy 10. I don't think that'll happen this year. Looking at the forecast, there's only a 70% chance of rain for this upcoming Saturday. Now that means there's a likely chance there will be any rain, but it's not like, oh, there's definitely going to be rain. It's not like it's 90, 100%. It's only 70%. On the bomb, 1 to 15 mils. If we get 1 mil, it'll be a good 4 heading into good 3. If we get 15, it'll be soft 6, soft 7 heading into heavy range. So don't really know with the conditions, but we'll just see how we go. My first play of the day from Cranbourne comes up in race number 1, the 3-year-old Cranbourne Classic over the 2,000 metres. And I'm with number 4, Hydrogen Power. This horse is the stablemate to the favourite Warmonger. Warmonger won a strong race last start on Melbourne Cup Day at listed level. Has to carry the top weight of 60 kilos, however, this time, and has to go back to about last around a tight turning track like Cranbourne, or of Cranbourne, and you're being asked to take about $2. Toxic odds. Hydrogen Power, the stablemate, in my opinion, represents heaps more value. Broke through last start with a maiden win at Ballarat, where it sat off a fast speed, or settled second off a fast speed. The leader went out like Deny Knowledge, and it chased it down Alligator Blood style in the Might and Power to win. It was similar to that race, and it was getting away from the second horse on the line where the second horse loomed up to it. Dean Yendall won on this horse last start. Dean Yendall rides it on Saturday, has the experience on the horse. From gate 4 will be in a non-speed position, gets in on the minimum weight with 54 kilos. It's by the Autumn Sun. It's got the So You Think colours. It's trained by Price and Ken. I think it's ready to win again. Next play of the day comes up in race 3, the Rosemont Stud Fillies and Mares Pendant over the 1,400 metres. And I'm with number 1, Revolutionary Miss. Now this horse is without a doubt the best horse in the race, but it has to carry the top weight because of that, and that's the only thing that puts me off. But this horse was good, only finishing a length off Skewiff in the Hong Kong Jockey Club last start. Skewiff ran a pretty good race in the Stirrup at Clark last week, and Foxy Cleopatra, who ran second in that race, is favourite for the Cranbourne Cup. Good form lines in my opinion. Wasn't disgraced in the Tristark, the run prior. Geordie Child's going on, I think, is a good plus because I like Geordie Childs. Draws gate 4, so we get a pretty good run. The favourite is Kazoo. Now that horse beat Commemorative last start up in Sydney. Commemorative hasn't set the world on fire. And I know Kazoo gets Damien Lane on and goes forward and around Cranbourne, that's beneficial. But just at the price and off the bit of a freshen up, I just think Revolutionary Miss is the way to go and represents value. Last play of the day comes up in race number 9, the Cranbourne Cup over the 1,600 metres, and I'm really keen on this horse. Never been with him before, or only been with him once, I think. Number 3, Here to Shock. Now, this horse hasn't won probably since late summer of 2023, but I think now, 6th up in its campaign, it's ready to win. This horse finished the length off Cause for Concern in the Damien Oliver at Flemington on Derby Day. That form hasn't stood up to be great, but that's because all those horses came out and run in the Stirrup at Clark at Group 1 level. The Cranbourne Cup is not a Group 1, so Here to Shock, I think, is a good chance based off that. Draws 5, we'll get a soft run for Dan Stackhouse. If we do get into the heavy range, it's won on a heavy track before. This horse, only 3 starts ago, finished half a length off Antino. Now, that form would be putting it about $3, $2.50 you would think, but It's just because of everything else it's done and its most recent form why the market slightly missed it. The favourite, Foxy Cleopatra, I must say I think it's overrated. This horse ran in the Hong Kong Jockey Club last start, obviously. Second behind Skewiff, flying from the back. Well done, good run. But there's a thing called second up syndrome, and I've been on too many horses that have had that in their time, and Foxy Cleopatra storming home late from the back gives me the second up syndrome feeling. Euphoric has a couple of lengths, I think, to prove to be up to hit a shock level, and then you got other chances like Ascension, who's been well backed, and Pounding and Just Folk and whatnot. But I think Hit a Shock's a really good chance. As I said, should get a good run from the gate and should be hard to beat. We'll now move on to Drum Kit.
It's going to be an absolute boil-over.
Trying to find the horses that can be backed each way over $10 or over the $10 win price at least. So we'll start in race 2 with number 8 King Ben. Now this horse is the outsider of the field, but it represents value based off this one fact. Now 3 starts ago at Moe, it ran about a length off Extremely Rowdy in a maiden. Extremely Rowdy's a rival in this race. On that day, King Ben carried 57 kilos and Extremely Rowdy carried 53. King Ben now carries 54 in this race. Extremely Rowdy carries 54 in race number 2 on Saturday. So King Ben gets a 4 kilo weight swing. Will that put it ahead of that horse? Most likely. Extremely Rowdy's $7 on Saturday and King Ben is 60 to 1 immediate value. The last one comes up in race number 10. I was thinking of making this a play of the day, but I thought I'd put it in Drum Kit just so I can have it each way. So it's race 10, number 8, So She Can Fly. First up for the Dan Bowman team, Geordie Childs rides. Now I remember watching this horse win last start at Pakenham. That was in late April and going, yep, that's a good horse. Haven't been following it, but saw it was entered this week and I like its chances. Now this horse potentially couldn't run if we get to a very heavy track because it's had all its runs on good ground, and it's 3 from 5 on good ground, and it's $27. So if we cop no rain, I reckon it's a big chance. This horse has won first up previously, so I think it should be ready first up. Draws gate 2, can probably sneak runs to get to midfield or so. We'll need some luck from the inside, but I think it's a really progressive horse, and the market has missed it. It's now time for the quaddie, and still haven't won one. Last week, 2 out of 4, which isn't great either. Missed Magic Time and Rose Quartz, and they probably should have been in there, shouldn't they? But we move on to this week. I've just tried to get it this week, and I think there's open fields on Saturday, so going a bit wider. So we'll start with race 7, number 1, Gregor Limo, number 2, Ulysses, number 3, Holy Mans, number 5, Fujita San, number 9, Fireglow 2, and number 10, Glentanius. Because we don't get a huge percentage, I've just gone skinny in the Patchy Cat Classic. Just the 2 speedsters of the race. Number 1, Jigsaw on its home track. And number 3, Midwest, the favourite. Then moving on to the Cranbourne Cup. Number 1, Pounding. Number 3, Hit a Shock. Number 4, Ascension. Number 5, Charterhouse. And number 6, Umgawa. Leaving out Foxy Cleopatra and Euphoric. That's a bit of a risk, isn't it? Then moving on to the last race, race number 10. Number 4, He's Handsome. Number 5, Jimmy Star. Number 6, He's Beset or He's Beset. Number 8, So She Can Fly. Number 9, Simeon. And number 14, Edith. So hopefully we can get it this week. We move on to around the country. Hopefully this week we can have a bit of luck because I've got 5 lined up from around the country. So we'll get started at Kembla Grange. Race 4, number 4, Dollar Magic. Now this horse is at $8.50 and it hasn't missed the top 3 in its past 10 runs. It's been consistent, its past 3 especially, when Reece Jones has been on board. 3 and 2 starts ago, it only went down in photo finishes at 78 and 72 level. This is a 78, so I just think this horse is over the odds considering it's ultra consistent. It should get a good run from the gate on speed, and it could win. Moving ahead to race 8, the Warra. Over the 1,000 metres, I'm with number 12, Brood Nell. Now this horse gets in with the luxury weight of 52.5 kilos for Dylan Gibbons. 1,000 metres suits it ideally. Draws gate 3, will get a good run in the lead or just behind the leaders. It's got a good first up record and I think it's the way to go. Race 9 at Kembla, I'm with number 3, Emperor. It's short but it should win. This horse should roll forward from the gate. Gate 11, Nash is in the saddle, so he shouldn't stuff it up. This horse was good winning first up at Ramwick on Melbourne Cup Day in a highway over 1,000 metres, winning by 2 lengths. So I think second up, hopefully can repeat the dose, go forward from the gate and win. One from Doomben, race 9, number 1, Zoo Shack. Now this horse ran at listed level last start, was outclassed and now comes back to benchmark 85 level. CJ Graham takes the ride. Takes 2 kilos off down to the 60 kilos, which is beneficial. Draws gate 7, should be around midfield or so. And the obvious query with this horse is 1600 metres, but this horse ran 1200 last start, being put up straight to 1600 metres by Robert Heathcote. He wouldn't do that if he didn't think it could run 1600, so that's why I've got it in. And because it's a Group 1 race day over there in WA, an Ascot special, race 5, number 1, Casino 17. Not very special because it's a short price, but this horse has run in 2 starts this campaign, good on both occasions from the back. What better combination in WA than Willie Pike and Grant Nalana Williams? Draws gate 3, so should get an economical run. And I think third up to the 2100 metres is ready to win. It's now time for the Get Out Stakes, trying to find a winner from the last race anywhere around the country. And we're going back to Kembla, race 10, number 4, Crafty Eagle. Now this horse is first up for the John Thompson team. Draws gate 3, will get an economical run on speed to midfield or so. Is 2 from 3 first up, and I reckon it's the way to blast out. It's now time for Last Man Standing. We've had a bit of a shuffle in the leaderboard heading up to this week. Sammy has now taken the lead because his $5,000 bet on Skybird, the place, got up. Sky High Horse Racing right behind him. I've managed to get into the green finally. I'm on about 457, and Geordie won last week. He's not too far off either. So we'll see what we're doing this week. Sammy's playing it safe, 100 the place on Foxy Cleopatra in the Cranbourne Cup. Sky High Horse Racing is going for it a bit. 200 the win on Warmonger, 200 the win on Foxy Cleopatra, 100 the win on Brave Mead, and then a $100 win multi. Warmonger, Brave Mead, and Super Smink over in Ascot. Me, I'm going for it a bit, $1,000 spend, 500 the win on Emperor at Kembla, then 200 the win on both Hydrogen Power and also Hit a Shock, and then a $100 win multi, Emperor, Hit a Shock, and also Hydrogen Power. Hopefully we can get something there. And Geordie, $4,000 spend, $2,000 each way on Crafty Eagle, who is my get out tip. So hopefully we can all win something this week. The last week of Last Man Standing set to be on the 9th of December, Ballarat Cup Day. So stakes are getting high. It's now time for Sunday session, and well, it's Kilmore Cup Day on Sunday. So a lot of the cup meetings are running on Sunday each and every week. So there's pretty good horses on display. And for my Sunday session tip, going race 1, number 5, Faith in Her. Now this horse only finished 0.2 lengths last start off Hey Joe on Ararat Cup Day in a maiden over 1100 metres. Drops back to 3-year-old Company, which I don't see to be any hindrance in its chances. Draws gate 1 for Blake McDougall, will settle right there on speed, and I reckon it's ready to put the maiden win away and move on to bigger and better things. So that's all my tips from this week. Hopefully you enjoyed. Hopefully I tipped you into a winner, and hopefully we can get some winners in general, and I'll see you next week.